Previously, we saw if we wanted to print the user's name, then we had to use a print function, and then inside that print function an input function so that we can retrieve the user's name and print it. But what if we want to print the same thing 3 times? Then we would have to use the input function 3 more times and ask the user their name 3 more times, which will just not be efficient and user friendly. So in this case we have variables. I am going to be showing you an example, then we will look at how they work. So as you can see here, I have this name which is called a variable, and I am assigning it the value that the user is providing me. So what it's going to do is when I give my name over here, it is going to set the value of this variable as my name which I gave, which is Muqtadir, as a string. So this is what's happening. When the input function runs, I provide my name, then this variable's value is set to that. Meaning if I want to print this variable, let's say here, and I am going to be setting this back to the input function. So what's going to happen is I provide my name, and then what it does is when I provide my name, it replaces all of this code to my name as a string, and then I am printing that value. So you can think of variables as a container which contains data. Like in your house, you might have a container for storing rice. In this case, we are using the variable to store the user's input, which in this case is the user's name. So we have our variable name, and then inside that we have to provide a value like James. But keep in mind that it has to be inside a double quote or else you will get an error. Now variables can also be changed. As you can tell by the name, they can be varied. So in this case, we can name a variable something like this, and if I print that, it is going to just print that value. But we can also later on change that value to something else like Amir. And then after that, when I print that value, now guess what's going to happen here? Is it going to print Muqtadir again, or is it going to print Amir, or we are going to be getting an error? Pause the video and figure it out. So when I run the code, as you can see, it first printed Muqtadir, which we had at the start. Our name was assigned the value of Muqtadir, which we printed, and then later on we updated that name to have the value of Amir instead of Muqtadir. So what's going to do is it is going to print that name, which in this case has been updated to Amir. In the next video, I have an exercise for you which is going to test your knowledge of variables. So for all of that and more, I'll see you there.